Hi, I'm Bernard Crespi from Datatel. Over the past few years, we've been working with organizations to help them to modernize how they accept payments. I've noticed a pattern that's worth sharing. When most organizations look at payments, they assume they have a payment problem. They start looking at tools, new portals, new vendors, new ways to accept money. But in reality, that's not the problem. The real issue is much deeper. Companies don't have a payment problem, they have a payment design problem. And what we're seeing right now across healthcare, insurance, utilities, various business sectors, and the public sector is a lot of pressure to modernize. More channels are being added, online payments, mobile payments, IVR, staffing, call centers are being involved, and AI. On the surface, that sounds like progress, but behind the scenes, things are getting much more complicated. Costs are going up, PCI compliance is getting harder, and risk is increasing, not decreasing. And here's why. Most organizations didn't design their payment environments. They built it over time. A portal was added to solve a problem. Staffing handles exceptions. IVR systems were introduced to reduce call volumes. Each decision made sense at the moment, but no one stepped back to ask, how should this all work together? So what happens? Payment data starts moving through multiple systems, and in many cases through people. And that's where things start to break down. You get unnecessary exposure, you expand your PCI scope, and you introduce inefficiencies that are very hard to see, let alone to fix. So now something interesting is starting to happen, a shift. Organizations are beginning to rethink the question, not how do we accept payments, but instead, how should payments exist within our business? And that's a very different question, because now you're not just thinking about tools, you're thinking about structure, flow, control. You're looking at payments as an operational system, not just a transaction. And this matters more than ever. The reason behind it is, the regulatory requirements are evolving, customers' expectations are rising, and internal teams are being asked to do more with less. Trying to solve that with policies and training alone, it really doesn't hold. If the underlying design is flawed, the risk actually stays. And this is where we spend a lot of our time. At Datatel, we work with organizations to step back and look at how money actually moves through their business. Not just where payments happen, but how they flow, where they slow down, where they rely on people, where the risk is being carried, often without anybody even realizing it. And when you start to see it that way, a few things become very clear. You can remove sensitive information from human interaction. You can simplify your compliance efforts, and you can actually improve the experience at the same time. Most organizations have added payment capabilities, and very few of them have designed them. And that's the opportunity. As digital channels continue to expand, the organizations that treat payments as a design challenge, not just as a transactional function, are the ones that will be in control. They'll manage risk better, operate more efficiently, and scale without the friction that most are dealing with today. That's a real shift from payments as a task to payments as a system. And once you see it that way, you can't unsee it. If this resonates, one of the most useful things you can do is simply take a couple steps back and look at your own environment this way. By the way, we run a short session. It's about 20 to 30 minutes. We call it How Money Flows. It's not a product demo. It's a working session where we walk you through your payment environment together. And the way that payments process are architected by a professional, how money actually moves, where the design is working, and where it might be absorbing problems that haven't been clearly identified yet. At the end of it, you walk away with a very structured view of your environment, something you can actually use internally right after. There's no pressure, just clarity. And for most teams, that alone changes the conversation. So now what I've done is I've dropped a link at the bottom or in this post so you can actually book that session at your convenience. Okay, look forward to actually seeing you soon. And again, thank you for listening. This is Bernard Crespi at Datatel.